We're live again. Sorry about that, guys. It crapped out. We're on channel 40 and 068 is. Two 1-3, we're waving at you. We just pointed the beam at you. 791 Gulf Islands. Yeah, you're sounding good, and I can still hear my buddy out there, Jim, 068, Rochester, Minnesota. So I'm getting him off the side of the beam, but I'm pointed right at you now towards Anchorage, and you're smoking in here. Well, you're the only one on frequency here besides Jim 068, so pretty quiet on this one. Right on, buddy. Yeah, I hear Jim out there. Hey, Jim, can you hear me? Hey, 068.
Yeah, Joe, I hear you, and I hear 231. I can hear most of you. I hear 231 in and out, but we didn't make a contact.
Yeah, 213. I'm pointed right towards Alaska, but I'm still getting you, Minnesota. You're coming in off the side of the beam. You bet. Yeah, 213's got a pretty powerful station up there. When the house is turned his way, he shakes the radio room, even he coming in off the back of the beam. All right, I'll sit on the side and I'll read the mail here. I just started a new live gate, so hopefully this one will stay working for a little while. My Wi-Fi won't crap out on me. I got to get a booster, I know. Anyway, 213 up there in Alaska. Cheers, 73s, and Merry Christmas, buddy.
All right, 791, 068. You folks have a good one. 73 to both of you. Happy holidays. Everyone out there, DX-Land 213, Anchorage, Alaska, waving.
Take care, 213. Cheers, beers, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy. I was sounding good down this way. This is UDX 791 Gulf Islands on the site. Okay, that's a good one.
All right, 223, 213, 213, Anchorage, Alaska, waving. Happy holidays. All right, 1128, appreciate the response. 1128, 213, Anchorage, Alaska, waving. 73.
Hey, Jim, I'm back on the live stream. If you want to tune in, I am back on the live gate. Sorry about that, guys. Crappy Wi-Fi. Jim's right. I need a booster. Hey, we got you in there. Yeah, I'm back. It's cool. I got a video gate of you talking to 213 there, Jim. So I got it on here, and I actually got it on my camera too. That's crazy. You're coming off the side of my beam. So it's funny, when I was talking to you, I was getting 213 off the side of my beam, and then I swung the beam around northwest to Alaska, and then I'm getting you off the side of the beam. Hey, Jesse, we're back. Hello, I'm back. Yeah, sorry about the Wi-Fi. But anyway, so I got a video gate of that, which was pretty cool. I talked to 213 quite a bit. He's running a 4-element serial Yagi. He's about, got to know how far he is north of me, probably 1,300 miles north, at least 1,300 miles north of me in Alaska. I think that's how far Anchorage is. It's got to be something like that. It's way up there, man. Some people seem to think I live right next to Alaska. Alaska's a long way from where we are. We're actually close to Washington State where we are down here. So I'm turning the beam around. That's what I'm doing. We are cranking around southeast. That's amazing how Skip works. Sometimes we get some backscatter. Mesh system on Amazon. I better write that down and tell my boss. My boss is Wendy. Wendy is the boss. EERO mesh system on Amazon. Is it like a payment? You have to make payments on it every month, or you just buy the thing and install it? I don't even know how that works. My boss is Wendy too. My mom. Oh yeah, your mom's name is Wendy. Yep. I got Bendy Wendy here, Mrs. Yoga. And your mom is Wendy. That's right. I know a lot of Wendy's. I'm going to West Vancouver. Oh, cool. Wendy's heading to Vancouver tomorrow. She's on the afternoon ferry, and she won't be back till, I think, Saturday she's coming back. She's going to visit her son. Her son lives down on Main Street, I think, somewhere down there. So she's going to visit her son, Mitchell. Her son is Mitchell. He's 39. He's going to be 40 at the beginning of May. My God, May's turning 40. No, but it will hook up to your router download, so your phone and your download the. Oh yeah, unfortunately we don't have a phone. We don't have iPhones here. I don't have an iPhone because we don't get any iPhone reception here. Wendy used to have an iPhone, but the reception is just, it sucks here. You actually on the road a ways, and then you can get some reception, but it's just the way, I guess, where the tower is, one of the other islands, or in the south end around, there's a lot of mountains in the way. But yeah, we don't have any iPhones here or any of that stuff. We just have old school telephone here. I mean, everybody here has iPhones, but we don't have one because the reception sucks in this spot, unfortunately. So I'll have to Google it anyway. I'll send it along to her and see what she says. Although, you know what, I really could use another power supply, but the power supply is going to be more than that. It's probably pretty cheap to buy one of those things. Amazon. I bought this actually Amazon US, this Baofeng, and I got this thing cheaper than Canadian. I got a better deal in the US on this Baofeng than I would on Canadian Amazon. It came with an extra battery, and it also came with a microphone I could plug into it. It was only like 60 something bucks. No, don't have an iPhone. I've never personally owned an iPhone or a cell phone in my life, but I can't say I haven't had one, because when I worked for the parks department, I always had one. I had to have one in my parks truck. I had to have one when I was packing a chainsaw in the bush, for emergencies, whatever, or if they had to get a hold of me. But it wasn't my phone. It was the government parks department phone. And it stayed in my parks truck when I was done for the day. I didn't bring it home unless I forgot it in my pocket. But it wasn't my phone. It was a CRD, Capital Regional District phone. And we just had to have them. So the last one I had was an iPhone 6. I think it was an iPhone 6 I had. But I had that, and I could take pictures with it and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know a single person. I know, everybody's got them. I like this stuff. I still use an old school phone in the house. I got the rotary phone, but I also have push button phones as well. But I still actually have a rotary phone too. I just never had a desire to ever have one. It just never interested me. Yeah, I've always liked this stuff. Like, I'd rather have more radio equipment. It doesn't, because I don't like talking on the phone. I absolutely effing hate it. I hate talking on the phone, but I know people text and stuff like that. What the heck happened to the conditions? Dang, they just disappeared, Sonny, didn't they? I'm on channel 40 right now. Channel 40, and I'm pointing southeast. So if somebody makes a call, I'm sure I'm going to hear one of you guys, because we know 533 Minnesota North Star is a powerful station. And we can always hear 068 Minnesota as well out there in Rochester. I don't know how far Sonny Bills lives from Rochester. How far is Rochester from where you are, Sonny? Is it quite a ways? Yeah, it just disappeared, man. Look at this. It is dead. Like, it went dead. Look at that. Unreal. Taco Bender's on 39. He's on 39. Taco Bender. You're about 150 miles. So it's too close. It's too close to talk. It's too close for Skip and too far to talk local. That's what it is. I'm in southeast Minnesota by Iowa and Wisconsin. Oh, wow, cool. So can you drive there like in a short distance to like Wisconsin and Iowa? Like, would it be like an hour, couple hour drive, something like that? Jesse, Ottawa is preparing to create a path for hundreds of thousands of people who have lived. Unreal, man. Unreal. They also made it illegal to say the word groomer now. You can't say that. They've made that illegal. This is the communist guy running the country here. It says the article 600,000 illegal immigrants here will get citizenship. And those are all the guys that are going to vote for you know who. 1 hour to Twin Cities. So when they say Twin Cities, what does that mean? I hear a lot of people say, oh, we're by the Twin Cities. What are the Twin Cities? Is it like Minneapolis? And what's the other city? I'm curious. Forgive me for my ignorance. But what are the Twin Cities? And this is mainstream news, not even just unreal. St. Paul. Okay, St. Paul, Minnesota. Okay, so Minneapolis and St. Paul. Minneapolis, St. Paul. Okay, cool. Right on. Thanks, guys. You guys are a fountain of information. You're definitely a fountain of information. I appreciate that. And, you know, and now you guys know where I live, and I've showed you where I live. You know where I live, Jim. I've showed you before. I'm on this island chain right here. Okay? This is our island right here, okay? That's our island. I'm on the north end of that island. These are other islands. This is the U.S. This is Vancouver Island, but this is all U.S. islands here. That's United States. This is Washington State is right over here. That's Washington State there too. That's Canada. That little chunk of land is Washington State, and Washington State is like right across from our island. Isn't that crazy? So that's where we are. We're on the Gulf Islands, Southern Gulf Islands, and we're out in the North Pacific, right? So and that's Vancouver Island to the west of us right here. That's a huge island, right? So many people live here, just about 11,000. St. Paul is the state capital. Cool. See, that's good information too. I like to learn stuff like that. So there's just about 11,000 people that live on this island. About 60% of them are retired. Here in the past 10 years, there have been millions of illegal immigrants received. Unreal. Unbelievable, man. Oh, God, Trudeau's got to go. You remember what the Italians did to Mussolini? That's what always crosses my mind. You know, maybe that's what needs to happen to some of those people out there. It's unbelievable what he has done to this country, man. So I won't fly a Canadian flag anymore because I'm not really proud of what's going on. Trudeau will win. Oh, God, then it's time to move. Unbelievable. If he wins, I have to move somewhere else. I have to get out of here. George Floyd. Oh, isn't that the dude that got beat up or something? Yeah, that was all over the news, man. Wasn't that dude that the cops strangled or something like that or choked out? Home of the VI Queens. Yeah. The VI Queens. We got lots of those up here too, but they call them drag queens. I think our prime minister he loves that stuff. Yeah, I remember that was all over the news, man. You remember the Rodney King thing back in, when was that? That was back in wasn't that back in the 90s? It was Los Angeles, Rodney King, Reginald Denny, all those guys. There was all those riots and stuff like that. I'm thinking about it. That must have been like 30 years ago now. Man, a lot of stuff has gone on in the last few decades. Was one guy who did a home invasion, put a gun to a woman's stomach. Well, that's called karma then. Then he got his karma, right? So they made him look like the good guy, and the cops look like the bad guy. Isn't that terrible? The way media twists things around, right? George Floyd at the time died at lethal amount of fentanyl. Unbelievable. 1990. Yeah, that was it. 1990. My oldest son was born in 91. Did you watch? I never watched the full video, but that's just crap how they make the cops look bad in an instance like that. And they try to portray him as a good guy. But meanwhile, this guy's been on his crime spree. I say when bad things happen to people like that, to me, it's just karma, because I do believe in karma, right? Just like the 111 guy. Eventually, his karma will catch up with him. 111 guy on 38 can't be doing that forever, because there's going to be there's going to be a person crazier than him that's going to show up at his door and probably teach him a lesson, right? The cops let him out of the car first. If anything, they were too lenient, also combined with a lethal amount of unreal. George Floyd was already saying he can't breathe when he was in the police car way before. Unreal. See, I didn't know that. I haven't seen anything like that. I didn't watch that. I watched the news, and I don't watch mainstream news anymore just because most of it's crap. right? And you can only believe, like, take everything with a grain of salt on there, it seems, these days. It's pretty sad, man. It's pretty sad. Government paid off media. I'm on 39 right now, listening to Taco Bender and a few other guys causing a little bit of H&D on there. But anyway, when you got drugs in your body, you do crazy things. That's why I don't do drugs. In my opinion, as Derek Chauvin could have been a contributing factor, but the main cause of 100% drug overdose. The cop who got thrown in jail, he got thrown in jail, got stabbed to death, stabbed nearly to death. No way. What? I didn't know that. I never heard that, man. That is crazy, man. That was some crazy stuff, huh? We're so, how do I say, when you live on this island, you just don't see stuff like that. Like, I mean, it's like we're a million miles away from everything. You can see it on the news, but you don't see that stuff ever happen around here. Like, we don't have protests. There's been logging protests here in the past where people, try to stop a logging truck here and there, but none of that stuff goes on. Give me a crazy fact. He had also alcohol in the system, heart problems. So it was all a contributing factor. Unreal. Speaking of heart, I got to go on 27th. I got to go to get a stent. I got to get a possible stent put in. One of my arteries is partially plugged, which I told you. So 27th, December 27th at 8 a.m., Royal Jubilee Hospital in Victoria, Big Island. That's where I'm going to be. That's where I'm going to be. They're going to be honing out my heart, my artery. Open her up, let some more blood flow get in there, and then maybe I won't have a shortness of breath when I go for those big hikes to the top of the mountain. But they said those were, yeah, of course they're going to say that, right? The other cop was black and the other was unbelievable, man. It's hard to believe just all the corruption that goes on these days in this day and age, right? George also had COVID-19 when he died. Oh, really? So he had a whole bunch of stuff going on. Unreal. Strange that the rejected wonder. Unreal, eh? Yeah. I haven't watched mainstream news for a long time. The only mainstream news I really see, guys, actually pops up on the side of my computer. Like if things will kind of flash up when I'm on the computer, but I don't. We chucked our TV in the garbage about 2 years ago. Wendy's smart TV, the 52-inch big screen, flat screen, broke. And it sat out there, and I just chucked it in the garbage dump. And we actually haven't had a TV since. There's one down in the B&B. I think there's a TV down in one of our accommodations, but that's for them. They just watch videos on it, DVDs. But we don't have a TV. We watch movies and stuff on just on the internet. It's easier. She's got Netflix. Home of the VI Queens. Is that something like a drag queen? We got lots of drag queens up here, man. Lots of those guys that think they're girls, but they're guys. You know what I mean? And they wear girly stuff. I have nothing against them. Just I don't want them pushing it down our throats, man. You know what I mean? That's the problem with our crime industry. He pushes it down everybody's throat what he believes is right. Not Vikings, VI Queens. Vikings. VI, and that I've never heard of before. I've heard of Vikings, but never VI Queens. I'm sure we have them up here too. Except we call them, the Kink song Lola. Those are the type we have up here. Yeah, I see a lot of them around these days. You know what I mean? And that's their thing, if that makes them happy. But when the crime minister says that's the right thing to do and this and that, well, he can cram it. I don't know. I was in the gym. I worked out. I got to go for a blood test tomorrow. So I got to go right after work. Like I say, I'm off work at just before 12. Just before 12, and then I'm going to go to the hospital and get me a blood test. Minnesota Vikings is that what it is? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. Is Minnesota Vikings a football team? Is that what it is? I don't know. You guys got to clue me in. I'm guessing it's a football team, right? I remember the Minnesota North Stars. I remember the Minnesota North Stars hockey team because I used to like the goalie back in the 70s. It was Cesar Maniego. You only watch hockey, and that's a good thing. I'm a Lions fan. Hopefully they can make the NFC run. Oh, okay. It's funny. We have BC Lions up here. We have the BC Lions CFL football team. That's our British Columbia team. is BC Lions, right? And good team. Heading up to the bug out this weekend. The Vikings play like women. They play like women. Heading up the Vikings play like women. That's funny, Sonny. Hockey is the least woke sport. Yeah, I like hockey too. They got rid of, I was going to say, NFL team. Okay, so Wendy's cousin's son, Carter Hart, is the goalie for Philadelphia Flyers. So my wife, her cousin, their son is the goalie for Philadelphia Philly Flyers. That's Carter Hart. You've probably heard of Carter Hart. So he's related to my wife. I've never met the guy, but I guess Wendy has. It's her, so it would be her second, maybe it's her second cousin. It's her cousin's son, right? So there's some sort of relationship there, right? I guess it's second cousin. Is that how that works? Something like that. But yeah, I know one of the hardest core teams, football teams, is the Green Bay Packers. My cousin was on the BC Lions. Cool. Right on. Neil Beaumont lives here. He used to be in the BC Lions. He lives here on Salt Spring Island. Google his name, Neil Beaumont. I know him and his wife. He's lived on Salt Spring for decades. He's getting older now. I think he played with the BC Lions back in the 1960s. Yeah, Carter Hart. So that's Wendy's second cousin, right? And his parents live in Alberta or Saskatchewan. Younger goalie, yeah. I'm sure he's making good coin. Going to get going. Some sawmilling. Nice. Sawmilling you got to love. Now, that's a good thing to do. Sawmilling. You got to like that. Is it a bandsaw or just a regular blade saw? I mean, with a bandsaw, there's less waste. And there's a lot of sawmills going over here, too, on our island. That's cool. Well, have fun. Don't cut any limbs off, Sonny. Be careful with those blade. Have a good one, buddy. And we'll see you next time around DX Land. Have a Merry Christmas. And thanks for tuning in. And I did put your number in the last live stream. And thanks for tuning into this one, too. Turbo Sauce, swing saw, cool. So you make some pretty good lumber. What type of wood are you milling up? I'm curious. Here they mill Douglas fir and cedar. So it's mostly Douglas fir and cedar here, Western red cedar. That's what we have on our island. Our whole island is covered with Douglas fir, Western red cedar, hemlock, but not many people mill that up, and balsam fir, grand fir. We have arbutus. And we have Pacific Yew and Gary Oak. Here, big white pine and, we have pine too. Right, and big cedar. Oh, so you have cedar too, okay. We have pine at the top of our mountains. We have shore pine trees, but they only grow on the mountaintops. But it's kind of a soft wood. We have some pine trees I planted in our garden over 30 years ago, man. They're big freaking trees. One of them we actually had to get cut down. It was just casting some shade and stuff, and I didn't want it there anymore. But pine wood is nice. Makes good cabinets and stuff. My mother, friends, children in Barcelona, private. They're all football, soccer players. Children go to. When I have been there in the past, you can see them all. Wow, children go to. So soccer players, that's awesome. Big money, man. Big money in that when you get into the professional leagues. Anyway, Sonny, you have fun milling up wood, man. Big white pine and big cedar. I wonder if it's the same cedar we have. We have Western red cedar here. It smells really good. Oh, we also have, what smells really good is yellow cedar. And that grows more on the West Coast and on the Big Island. But occasionally when I'm down beachcombing, I have found, one time I found a really nice yellow cedar log. Really nice yellow cedar log. I was carving into it with my chainsaw. And I says, man, this is yellow cedar. I was carving a tiki into it. It was absolutely beautiful. I go down to the beach sometime with my chainsaw, and because there's logs washed up on the beach, and I carve tiki faces in them, like the Hawaiian tiki, and I'll put SSI for Salt Spring Island, and they'll float out at high tide. Who knows where they float to? Your children, one of them was actually friends with Lion S.C.'s Matthews. Oh, really? That's pretty cool. Right on, Nike Cal. Very, very cool. So you've rubbed elbows with famous people. The most famous person I've rubbed elbows with was, and I shook his hand, was Steven Tyler, lead singer of Aerosmith. That would probably be the most famous person. And there's, of course, the lead singer of Bachman Turner Overdrive, Randy Bachman. He used to live here on our island, so I've met him lots of times. I've been to his house lots, too. And I sold his wife some palm trees. They're still growing there. And they moved. They moved about maybe 5-6 years ago. And then Bill Henderson, lead singer at Chilliwack. He lives here. I know him. And who else? Oh, Tom Hooper, lead singer of Grapes of Wrath, the rock group. He's on our island. He's a friend of mine, nice guy. And the drummer from 5440 lives here. I don't know him personally, but I've seen him perform in the Moby's pub. Art was supposed to be one of the best. Really? So he's making big money. Wow, big money. He hasn't lived up to that yet. He is still one of the better goalies in the league. It's before your time, though. There was Bernie Perrant, was Philadelphia Flyers. Bernie Perrant back in the 70s. There was Gilles Gilbert. Was it Gilles Gilbert? He was the goalie for Boston Bruins. And then there was Tony Esposito, was the goalie for Chicago Blackhawks. And then there was Cesar Maniego for Minnesota North Stars. And I mean, there was some really good goalies. Jacques Plante was for Toronto Maple Leafs back in the frickin' 50s and 60s, I think. Great goalies. When he was drafted, he was seen as being... Oh, really? His team's defense isn't great, though. He hasn't been better. He might have been better on a better team. Interesting. He probably still makes a couple $1,000,000 a year, though, I bet, eh? What do you think? Couple $1,000,000 a year? Carter Hart? I wouldn't doubt it. Hey, Radio DX1. Maybe one of these days you'll meet another famous guy. Maybe one of these days. Yeah, you know what? We met, you know who else I met too is Liv Tyler. I met Steven Tyler's daughter too, and I shook her hand. So I met Steven Tyler and Liv Tyler on the beach. We hang out on Maui. So $4 million US per year. Oh my God. Holy cow, man. $4 million. Oh, unreal. I can't even imagine, man. That guy's just set for life. Wow. $4 million US. That's crazy. Anyway, yeah. So Wendy, and I probably showed you guys the picture right here. There's Wendy. And I took this photo of Wendy and Steven Tyler at Little Beach on Maui. And it was on her birthday, which was even cooler. So that was Little Beach on Maui. And there's Steven Tyler. And I asked if I could take the picture. And he says, yep, go for it. Really nice guy. Had two little Yorkie dogs with him. And his daughter wasn't in the picture, but I think Wendy has some pictures of his daughter, Liv. Liv, really nice people and super chill. Right? So there you go. That is Steven Tyler. Uh-oh. Now I got to get this back on the... Come on. Hang on, guys. There we go. There we go. All right. So, Carter, team's biggest rival, funny enough, Penguins goalie. Oh, really? Penguins used to have some really good players back in the day. I've scored on NHL goalie before. No way. That's cool, man. Right on. Yeah, you've been playing hockey a long time. Well, one day you'll be in the NHL, right? You got to create your own reality, and you think that, and you will be. That's pretty cool. You know what? I think it's pretty much gone. I'm just going to turn my antenna around towards the South Pacific and see if I can get some Australian skip in here. Hang on, guys. Let's see if we can get some Australian skip. I did talk to New Zealand and Australia and Hawaii last night. Carter's Arch team's biggest rival. So anyway, Wendy's gone for a pedi right now. She's gone for a pedicure and she's heading off tomorrow. So Wendy will be gone for a few days. Over in the big smoke, the big city, man, Vancouver, which seems like another 1,000,000 miles away from Salt Spring Island. I rarely ever go to Vancouver, man. It's too far away. It's just too hard to get there from here. If you like sitting on a ferry for 3 hours, my mom is at the spa right now. Right on. Well, that's where Wendy's going right now. She's at the spa. I think her petty's at 3, so she left. She's at the spa on the south end. That's actually where she works. She works at the Weatherly Inn Resort on the south end on top of a mountain. So they have a spa there. So the daughter does the spa, and so she's giving it to Wendy for a gift or something like that. Wendy's worked there for like 10 years. It's way up on top of one of the mountains on the south end. So what time is here? 2:47. 2:47 right now. I have to figure out what I'm going to have for dinner. I'm also not looking forward to my blood test tomorrow. I hate freaking blood tests. They suck. It's going to be worse when they put that stent in my heart. in the artery. I'm not looking forward to that either. But hey, what do you do, right? What do you do? Nothing much I can do about it. Skip is rolling here today. Yeah, it was rolling when I got in here, Dylan, but it's not right now. 4:47 in Rochester, Minnesota. So it's 2:47 here. You know what's even cooler? In Hawaii, they're 3 hours behind us. So right now it is it's just about 10 minutes to 12 in Hawaiian Islands. Did you know that? The Hawaiian Island time is probably the best time. And if you go a little bit more west of Hawaii, they're still an hour behind Hawaii. And I think that might be maybe midway or something like that. Needles don't bother you. I don't really like them. But I get them every year when I go for blood tests, right? The gym I go to has Spawn. Very good. It has about 10 different. Oh, holy cow, that's huge, man. That sucks, man. I was hoping it would be. Yeah, Dylan, it's dead here. I'm on third here. Let me. Dead. It's gone. Skip is gone, man. And it could be something to do with that solar flares or something, right? The one thing I like is they also have those machines you take your body fat. Oh, that's cool. I have to do that at the hospital. The doctor does that for me. And I have very, very tiny percent of body fat, so I don't have to worry about that. I can eat like a horse and probably not even gain because I just burn it off. I'm always running around and burning, but some people look at food and gain weight, not me. It'll come back, Dylan. It will come back for sure. I'm on 355 right now. Texas on the vertical, 375. Okay, hang on. Let's just see. You know what? I just realized I'm pointed southwest. That's why. So let's. Here we go. Hang on. Okay, just pointed the beam southwest, southeast. I want to get 10%. That's all right. That'll be easy for you to do. I like chicken fajitas. I don't know my body fat, but it's very low. And the doctor tells me that. It quite pricey, cost me £250 per month, $420. Holy cow, that's expensive. I got my own gym. I got all the free weights in the world downstairs set up. I got 650 pounds of free weight. I got slant boards for crunches. I got all that stuff. 2 Weider benches. Upstairs, I got an Ultimate 2, the Bowflex 2 gym. So I got that as well, right? And days a week. So it's actually really good. It saves me a lot of money. And I won that Bowflex in 2008, which is even better. The weights I bought back in my first weight set I bought in 1984. No, 81. September 1981. And then I bought my bench in 84, but I'm on my third bench now. I'm coming to work out at your house then. Yeehaw! Hop on the plane. Come on up. Okay, I'm going to try to, according to the machine and gym, 8%, which I would say is about right. Cool. I'll have to find out next time I'm at the doctor's. Cost me 250 pounds per month. That's funny, man. Holy crap. I'm going to see if anybody can hear.